It's common knowledge that first dates can often leave people feeling bewildered and unaware of what to do. It's all about placing yourself in the right clothes, the right location, and most importantly, the right you. The last thing you want is anxiety taking over that amiable personality. So first and foremost, let's begin with a run-through of all the things to avoid and what you should be putting all your effort into. So in this video, we are going to talk about 10 do's and don'ts of first date. The video is going to be amazing, so make sure you stick to the end. Number 10. Be on time. In the dating world, punctuality can make or break a relationship. This may seem very simple and self-explanatory, but running late for a date is the first sign that you may not be a good match. If you have dinner reservations or plan to meet at a certain location at a designated time, being late can be disastrous. Try to arrive 10 to 15 minutes early to ensure you are at the right location and are there ready to greet them. Number 9. Ask questions. Ask questions of your own too. Feel free to mention something you saw on her profile because you've reviewed it prior to the date. Like, you were standing on a mountain in one of your pictures. Where was that? Are you big into hiking? Number 8. Listen. It's obvious when someone isn't really listening to you. Drifting eyes are a telltale sign of boredom, and that will make your date clam up and feel dull. Instead of worrying about what you might say next, focus on really listening to what your date is telling you. When you listen to another person, it gives them a signal that understanding could develop between both of you in the early stages. You might not get them like their old friends do, but at least give a signal that you can develop the understanding soon. It comes down to this. Show your date that you care about what they're saying, and they'll hopefully give you the same respect in return. Number 7. Be honest. Share a secret, talk about your interests, and try to avoid the commonplace. It's not worth trying to build the ideal young person for yourself. First, this will inevitably lead to a conversation consisting of only cliches. Second, we all know that no one has succeeded in being perfect and impeccable. Just be yourself, but within the bounds of decency, of course. Number 6. Use their name. Use your date's name in a sentence every so often, especially in the world of app dating, which can start to become impersonal. Adding the personal touch of using someone's name in a conversation can go a long way. So Lizzie, you're from Arizona. What brought you out to the East Coast? Feels way more thoughtful than, so you're from Arizona. Why are you here? Before we move on, support us by hitting subscribe and the bell icon to get notified when we post new videos. Now, let's get back to our topic. Number 5. Don't talk about your ex. The quality of the conversation you have while on the date is also crucial, as you've got to be yourself and be authentic while saying the right things. Speaking excessively about your ex or previous relationships is not ideal for a first date. Remember that this first date represents a fresh start. You can only talk about your ex or previous relationship experiences when you are asked such specific questions. Please don't compare your ex to your date. Don't state how they are either similar or different from your ex. Comparisons are hurtful. Most painful first dates that end on a disastrous note happen because of the consistent reference to an ex or a previous relationship. The fact that you are talking about your ex so passionately probably means you still have feelings for them. No one wants to step into territory already owned by your previous relationship, and it is disrespectful to your date. Whenever you feel like you must talk about your ex, please change the topic and focus more on getting to know your date. Your previous relationships are no longer part of your present reality. Let that experience go and become conscious of what is before you. Number 4. Don't stress unnecessarily. A bit of anxiety is natural on a first date. In fact, it's half the fun. But you'll want to eliminate the kind of stress that will make you flustered and your date uncomfortable. Remember, the more relaxed you feel, the more comfortable your date will be around you. One simple trick is to sit at a right angle to your date rather than face them directly. This takes the pressure off trying to fill every pause in the conversation, and you can both do a bit of people watching instead. Number 3. Don't come on too strong. Although you're on a date and the ultimate goal is to find a romantic partner, coming on too strong is a huge turnoff for lots of people. Expert in sexual health and wellness Tiffany Yelverton says that using pet names like babe and honey is a big no-no. We just met, I'm not your babe. Excessive touching is also unnecessary on a first date. Gauge the situation based on the activity. If you're bowling and your date gets a strike, totally go in for the flirty high five. If you're walking in a park, holding hands the entire time is probably a bit overboard for a first date. Number 2. Demonstrating poor listening and attentive skills. Another deal breaker during the first dates is poor listening skills. If you know you quickly get distracted when spending time with someone, please work on your listening skills before starting your first date. The first date is all about creating first impressions, and your date wants to know you hear them. If you don't listen well enough, you will also be inattentive, which means you will miss out on some of their words. What are you going to say when they ask a question regarding what they already said? If you fail to answer, it will mean they have been speaking for nothing all the time. Just as you pay attention to reading this book, the lines, and imbibing the lessons for your first date, please also pay attention to them. Let them know through your attentiveness that you are present and that you are listening to everything they are saying. Ask questions if you don't understand their words, and ask them to repeat what they say if you missed something crucial. It all shows that you are present and interested. Number 1. Don't impose a second date. Lastly, don't impose a second date or subsequent hangouts if they don't seem thrilled about it. Sometimes your date might drop hints about desiring a second date and even mention it outrightly to you, so that's great because they take the lead. However, sometimes they may not want another date. Don't push them to commit to it because you want it. Being too persuasive about another date is not an excellent way of bringing the date to an end. It is okay if you end the date on a cordial note, such that you both have fun and remain friends. Not all first dates lead to a lasting relationship. Be a sport, have fun, enjoy the moment, make sure they are having fun, and don't make them feel uncomfortable with the insistence that they must commit to another date. On the other hand, they may be ready for another date right after the first one, and if this happens, it means they fancy your company and you are ticking the right boxes. However, now that you have succeeded with the first date, you need to do the same with the second one. So that's it. Please like, share, and comment your thoughts below if you liked this video. Remember to subscribe to see our next video. Stay safe, and we will be back soon with another video.